Welcome to 5-Minute Physics. This video is about energy transfers. You should already know that in a system, energy exists in one of 8 different stores and can be moved between these stores via 4 different pathways. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, you should watch our video on energy stores and pathways first. Energy is incredibly important to almost everything we do, but it's only really useful when it's being transferred from one store to another. In the same way, money is only really useful when we transfer it. It might be nice to have a wallet full of cash, but it isn't actually any use to us until we spend it. You've probably heard that energy can't be created or destroyed, only moved between stores in a system. This idea, the conservation of energy, is crucial. If we have a total of 3,000 joules, 3 kilojoules, in a system before a change happens, there will still be 3 kilojoules in the system afterwards. This sounds simple, and it is, but there is a catch. Those 3,000 joules don't all end up in the store we want. Every time energy is moved from one store to another, some is wasted. It ends up in a store where it isn't useful to us. We describe this energy as being dissipated. Imagine pouring water between 2 bottles. Sooner or later, some of the water will end up on the floor, where it's no use to us. Some will be usefully transferred, and some will be wasted. This might make more sense if we look at another example. Imagine you're charging your mobile from a power bank. The energy starts off in the chemical store of the power bank. When you plug in your phone, energy is transferred via the electrical pathway to the chemical store of your phone's battery. But if you touch your phone while it's charging, you'd probably notice it gets warm, and so does the power bank. So not all the energy we start with ends up in the chemical store of the battery. Some ends up in the thermal stores of the phone and the power bank. It's been dissipated as heat. You probably didn't want a warm phone, so this energy has been wasted. Once energy is dissipated or wasted, it's very hard to get it back, and if we try, we often just end up wasting more energy. Because of this, it's important that we avoid wasting energy wherever possible. But your phone doesn't stay warm forever. So where does the energy in the thermal store go? Well, because your phone is warmer than the air around it and the table it's sat on, it transfers heat to the thermal store of these surroundings. This happens via 2 pathways: heating, through conduction and convection, and radiation, as infrared waves transfer heat to the surroundings. This transfer will carry on until the surroundings and the phone are at the same temperature. Let's think about another example. With your phone fully charged, you're now using it to watch a video of a cute kitten, or your mate's kill streak, or maybe about energy transfers. Energy starts in the chemical store of the battery. It's transferred along the electrical pathway to the screen and the speakers. The screen transfers the energy via the radiation pathway and the speaker via the mechanical pathway. But where does the energy end up? Well, the light from the screen and the sound from the speakers will reflect around the room until eventually they've been absorbed by the materials and the surfaces that they're landing on, including you. When this happens, those materials will warm up, only a tiny amount, because we're only talking about tiny amounts of energy, but with the right kit we can detect a temperature change. So the energy ends up in the thermal store of the surroundings. Sound familiar? Now if we're being really picky, some of the energy from the battery will end up in the thermal store of the phone. You've probably noticed that mobiles get warm while you're using them. And that energy will then be transferred to the surroundings via heating and radiation, just like in our previous example. Now, it turns out that pretty much all energy that's wasted ends up in the thermal store of the surroundings, a useful fact to remember for exams. This is true whichever store it starts in and whatever pathway it's transferred along. Engineers spend a lot of time and effort trying to reduce unwanted energy transfers, because if you're wasting energy, you're wasting money. You need to know about some of the ways we can do this. Watch our video on improving energy transfers to find out more. So, to summarise. Energy can't be created or destroyed, so the total amount of energy in a system never changes. Whenever energy is transferred between stores, some of it is wasted or dissipated. Wasted energy is eventually transferred to the thermal store of the surroundings. Thanks for watching this 5-minute physics video. Please check out our other videos covering GCSE physics in simple 5-minute lessons.